How we doing today, guys? Sam and Adam back with this week's fishing report for you. Before we get started on what's going on out on the bay, I want to talk about our big Black Friday sale coming up the 28th of November through the 1st of December. We're going to have all sorts of store-wide deals, 10% off all across the board almost. And we're also going to have some terrific deals on special combos, all sorts of fun stuff like that. So it's a great time to come in if you're going to get some last-minute Christmas gifts. So let's get started on fishing. I know what me and you have been most excited about has definitely been the pickerel fishing.
Yeah.
You've been getting out a little bit more than I have, so tell me what's going on there.
Yeah, so pickerel fishing, it's starting to heat up. Definitely not in the time where we're consistently getting big fish. It's more of a numbers game right now, but they're definitely out there. You go up your creeks of the Severn, the Magathie, Patapsco even, places like that, and you just want to throw little bait fish presentations. High Octane came out with this little spinner here. It's called the Trident Smoke Shad, and it's really good. It imitates those little bait fish. They've been liking the flash and the vibration, so that's a good thing to throw for pickerel for sure.
Yeah, some of my favorites is pretty hard to beat. I throw a lot of paddle tails for them. There's a lot of other great lures out there, but it's just so hard to beat them. These are some of my favorites, and we have them back in stock for the first time in a while. These are the Gambler 3.5-inch little Easies. I really like this specific color. I'm not sure why Chartreuse works so well, considering how clean the water is, but this is really hard to beat. So fishing this on just a regular jig head, you are going to lose a few rigs like this. You can fish them weedless, but I feel like you hook up a lot better on just a regular jig head. This is just a GI jig and 3/16 of an ounce, usually anywhere from an 1/8 ounce to a 1/4 ounce. Most of the time splitting it in between a 3/16, kind of a hard size to find, but it kind of works perfectly in these creeks and rivers around here. So that's one of my favorites. So pushing off a little bit out into the main front of the bay. Right out in front of us, fishing is a little on the slow side, but if you're willing to run just a little bit, you can certainly get into some good fish. There's still some fish holding out up by the mouth of the Patapsco, all the way down towards like Belvedere Shoal area. A lot of those fish are chasing big schools of LY this time of the year, so finding the bait really can help you out. And now, one of the things you will run into a little bit this time of the year as it starts to cool down, we're really having some cold days this time of the year, is you will start to see some fish on those more deader tides pinned down on bottom around the mouths of the rivers in a little bit deeper water. You can get out towards like out in front of the Magathie, out in front of Low Point, find that channel edge where it really drops off, and you can start to see some fish kind of schooled up there on those dead tides. And some of my favorite things to fish for those are really heavy jigging spoons that you can fish completely vertically right under the boat. This one here is by Rain Minnow, or a GI Jigs, but it's similar to the Rain Minnow, but it has a cupped profile, so it falls a little bit slower. So you will, 2 ounces, kind of heavy for what we fish up around here, but you will need this. I've even pushed up to the 3 ounce if you're getting a little bit deeper water, because you truly want to keep that vertical, and that bend that it has in there has a really nice slow fall. Some of the better fishing has definitely been towards the mouth of Eastern Bay and down even further towards the mouth of the Chop Tank. So those are areas where I think you're going to find your biggest concentration of those schooled up fish. For that kind of stuff, fishing these larger profile jigs, we're looking for bigger bites out there. This is just one we have pre-made in the store, but this is just a 8-inch Z-Man Streaks XL with a 1 ounce GI jig. Fishing stuff like that when you find those schooled up fish. Tides are really important this time of the year to find those moving fish. So outgoing tides, if you're going to fish on the bay side, if you're up inside the rivers a little bit, an incoming tide can be a little bit better. So that's pretty much what's going on with the rockfish. Now, I know you've been doing some pan fishing as well. What kind of stuff are you looking for that?
Yeah, so weather's cooling down, it's fall time. Some of your panfish species in freshwater are looking to fatten up for the winter. Your crappie, your yellow perch, things like that. There's a whole bunch of ways you can catch them. You can use bait like minnow under a bobber or night crawler under a bobber, fish those things on a bottom rig. But if you wanted to go with some artificial, you could go with something like these little bait fuel nano paddle tails. They're scented, and they have a really nice kicking action. Represents those little tiny minnows that your crappie, yellow perch, things like that are eating. So this can be a really good option for you out there.
Yeah, we're starting to see some yellow perch up inside the Magathie. Not super consistent, but there have been some. So it's a great time to get out there and do that kind of stuff. A lot of them are being caught just as bycatch when you're pickerel fishing.
Yep.
But if you want to downsize and target them, I think you're going to have a little bit better days with those fish for sure. I guess the other panfish we forgot about is the white perch.
Yep.
They don't leave, they just go deep. So they're starting to push out into deeper, harder bottom, fishing smaller jigging spoons vertically, kind of like we do this, but just downsized. It's been your best way. 25 to 35 feet of water, hard bottom is kind of seeing the biggest schools of them. So it just about wraps it up on the bay side. For folks looking to head offshore, there are still some really good tuna fishing. The bluefin close to the shore. We had probably a better 3 days here. It seems like the colder weather is kind of bluefin weather for sure. I saw a lot of fish brought in from Ocean City this year, some of those bigger bluefin. So if you're looking to do that, you can check out our video that we put out recently about bluefin fishing off Ocean City, and you don't have to go that far. So a lot of your smaller center consoles and stuff like that can get out there and do that. Just make sure you guys stay safe. I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah, think that'll do it. Get out there and catch some fish, guys.
Thanks, guys. Best of luck.